At 4:30 p.m. on Friday, April 10th, Urbana police were dispatched to a report of a shooting outside an apartment building on Colorado Avenue near Cottage Grove. A male and a female were ultimately taken into custody in relation to this incident. A bystander later posted a video on social media showing a portion of the interaction between police officers and these two individuals. That video is upsetting to watch. But thankfully, it's not the only video we have available to us to understand this incident. There are numerous videos from squad cars and at least 8 body-worn cameras that will give the full picture of this incident. This week, City Administrator Carol Mitten, Human Relations Officer Vasilia Clark, and I have watched about 2 hours of body camera footage from 4 different police officers, and we have spent several hours meeting with police department leadership. I've received questions from people about what they've seen so far on the bystanders video, and I appreciate those who are waiting to draw conclusions until more information can be provided. You've asked about the tactics employed by police officers to gain control of the situation. Your concerns focus on the type of weapons displayed, why some tactics were chosen over others, and the degree of force employed to take the female into custody. You also want to know why the officers weren't wearing protective masks while we're navigating the coronavirus pandemic. These questions and others will be answered, and we will answer them through the course of the investigation and review of this incident. So here's where we are now while the investigation is ongoing. We'll address questions and concerns through the following process. First, I have directed Chief Serafin to conduct an expedited review of the use of force in this incident and report findings to the Urbana City Council. At that time, he will address questions regarding weapons and types of tactics employed when police respond to reports of shots fired. For context here, out of the 25,000 calls for service that Urbana police respond to each year, use of force is employed to overcome resistance perhaps 100 to 150 times, and every one of these incidents is reviewed. Secondly, we're continuing to collect all the facts and witness statements related to this incident. Third, we will work with authorities to determine how and when body camera footage can be released in order to best answer your questions while protecting the integrity of the pending criminal cases. The footage will provide a more complete picture of the many factors that went into this decision-making and the actions taken during the incident. You may have read in the press release that a loaded gun ultimately was found on the male subject. After police arrived on the scene, they learned that a bullet had gone through the window of a nearby apartment that was occupied at the time, but they did not know who was in possession of the weapon when they first located the 2 individuals involved. Fourth, Urbana's Civilian Police Review Board, the CPRB, is an appeals board. Procedures are outlined in Urbana City Code. That's in Section 1920, Article 3 of the City Code. A complaint may be filed with the Urbana Police Department or the Urbana Human Relations Office. Complaints must be based on a first-hand account of an incident and cannot be heard until criminal proceedings are resolved. Upon receipt of a complaint, the Urbana Police Department conducts an investigation of the complaint and reports the findings to the complainant and the CPRB. The complainant has the option of appealing those findings to the CPRB in accordance with the procedures set forth in Section 19-32. Regarding the use of face coverings that day, an interim departmental policy regarding the use of PPE, which is personal protective equipment, was implemented on Saturday, April 4th, following the recommendations by the CDC. The interim policy specified circumstances when PPE was required and when it was recommended for police officers. This interim policy was in place at the time of the incident on April 10th. It was scheduled to be replaced at 7 p.m. that evening with new requirements, and it was. These new requirements are now in place. And today, all patrol officers are now required to wear full PPE, which are N95 masks, gloves, and safety glasses when they are outside their vehicles. I wish we could have responded to your questions and concerns about the events of April 10th sooner, and under normal circumstances we would have. But these are anything but normal times as we cope with the impact of coronavirus on our community. And as you are probably aware, on Saturday, April 11th, 15-year-old Terrius Pettis was murdered on Philo Road. Our police department detectives and officers have put intense effort into the investigation of this horrific crime while continuing to protect and serve our community. A 16-year-old Urbana resident was arrested on April 15th for that murder. This reminds us that while the pandemic has swept away all semblance of normal routines, all the underlying challenges in our community remain, and indeed, they are sometimes made worse by the heightened levels of stress and uncertainty. The Urbana Police Department has long been known for its professionalism, training, and discipline. Department leadership has been proactive in reporting and investigation of this incident on April 10th, and will be providing more information in the coming weeks. I want to thank you for your patience as we gather the facts and review this incident.